I'll just put the therapy hat back on.
Okay.
I
was like, what's the metaphor?
I'll just put my hair.
I'll just put my hair back in.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah, it's a wig.
I knew that. It was too good to be true.
This isn't therapy. This is not therapy. This is not therapy. This is not therapy. This isn't therapy.
Hello, and welcome back to another fun,
Flirty,
fabulous,
now in color
episode of This Isn't Therapy, the podcast, but all the stuff people are talking to their therapists about.
Correct.
My name is Jake Ernst, and I'm a therapist. Who be you?
My name is Simon Palick, and I am a filmmaker. Wait, no. My name is Simon Palick, and I'm not a therapist.
Oh my God, we're back. we're the most back we've ever been.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
But each week on this podcast,
Say it.
Jakey and
Come
I, we're
on.
just two friends
Yeah.
who like to have casual Kelly conversations about therapy. So we peel back the therapy curtain.
Yeah.
We reach our grubby little paws inside. Should I be talking to the camera?
We do that.
And then we pull out a therapy theme, a topic, something that's floating around in the culture.
Yeah.
And then we just have a casual Kelly couch conversation about it. Why?
Well, it's because
Therapy
therapy themes are everywhere you look.
look.
And the hair is out of place.
Is it? Is mine?
No, you look stunning, darling.
Okay, wait. Speaking of therapy themes,
Speaking of speaking,
we
we have a lot to talk about.
We do have a lot to
We have
talk
a
about.
lot to catch up on. So
Okay.
listen,
Hi.
where have we been?
Where have we been?
How have you been?
How have you been?
You know what? It's been a ride. I would say
Yeah, it's been a couple months.
it's been a long.
We
couple
did say we
months.
would come back, and we are back.
Yeah,
And now we're back
Yeah.
with if you're not watching this, why not?
you need to get on that YouTube.
Yeah, because now we're videoing our whole episode, so you
Yes.
can go to www.youtube.com
/
whenever
wherever.
Yeah,
no,
this
that's
isn't
not
therapy.
it. Don't go there.
This isn't therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
And you could watch the full episodes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are now fully episodic,
which is exciting.
Yeah. And I've actually felt like we needed to be here for a while, but I'm really glad that we finally arrived.
Yeah. Yeah, it's taking a moment.
So where should we start? Listen, I feel like we have to catch the lovely listeners up
Let's do it.
on how we have been, how we've been doing.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get to the therapy themes of
Yeah.
the week. You may have noticed something different about the episode titles. We are now tackling 2 therapy themes per week. And it's simply because there's just so
Therapy
much.
themes are absolutely everywhere.
Yeah,
you look.
there's so many
There's
therapy
too
themes.
many. Yeah.
And a lot to choose from, really.
Yeah. Okay, wait. So how are you? Give me an update.
Okay. So I have
Give
been...
me and all my friends who are listening.
Yeah. Okay. So I have been around the block, it feels like.
Okay.
I spent a summer traveling.
Abroad.
I have been to Barcelona, to Paris,
Barcelona, yeah.
to Europe, and I've just been doing my thing.
Yeah.
And so I've been out traveling,
Yeah.
and I feel like that has been like brought me back some life, baby.
Nice.
I'm like, I feel like I've really. Oh my gosh, Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
Hi, welcome back, episode 1.
Look, as an empath, I'm gonna start drinking water.
I was gonna say, me too. I'm gonna take that cue from you. I've had a hard few months.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really plan to get into it here. I don't think that that's necessarily where I want to talk about
Sure.
what I've been going on.
Yeah.
What I have going on, but I have been working on a really fun project, which I'm really excited to finally talk about.
Yeah.
So I will talk about that here.
Yeah.
Maybe right now. I finished writing a book. So I am booked up. I am blessed up, and I am getting into the production side of it, which is really exciting. So kind of into the editing and the manuscript of it all. And
That's so exciting.
it's been a really fun little journey for me.
Are we allowed to say when it's coming out, or
Well-
we're gonna hold off?
Well, we're going to have to stay tuned
gonna have
because
to
this
stay
is
tuned.
like recent news, but it's also, this is like a lovely listener exclusive.
Yeah.
Like exclusive.
Yeah.
And so it will come out in about a year and a bit.
Okay.
So it'll come soon.
Wow, the fact that you're dropping it here before we even get to the thing of it all. But that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You have a book. You've had like a summer of travel,
Relaxation
relaxation,
and what I will
maximo.
call healing.
yeah,
Just a big old healing journey for Jake Ernst.
which I love.
Yeah.
you deserve it.
How have you been? What is going on with you, sister?
I'm good. Why did you look down?
At what?
I don't know. Wait, is there a plant here? No, it's good. It was good. Busy summer. I think I said this on the pod before we left, but I actually directed my first feature film this year. Film.
Oh,
Yeah, and so that kind of took up my whole summer.
feature phlegm.
Feature.
That's me
phlegm.
right now. Is
Yeah.
feature phlegm. Yeah.
No, it was great. It was busy.
Good.
It was hard. It was
Yeah.
challenging. And now we're just in edit, and it'll also come out in a year. So we'll have shit to talk about.
We have lots to
in a
talk
year.
about in the meantime, and also like in about a year. So
all
right. Well,
stay tuned. Okay,
I love it.
but we're back.
May I lastly also say,
Yeah.
Simon and I spent 10 days on a boat this summer.
Yeah, we
and
did.
it was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it was,
We did it last year too.
we did it last year as well, and we went back this year. And so anyway, we are like officially back, doing this thing.
Yeah.
But you know, we've been,
Excited to be here weekly too.
me too. Me too. We're back, babe.
Yay!
I love
Okay.
it. All right.
Let's. What is our therapy theme that we're talking about?
Today, we are talking about those really good K-pop demon hunters.
What?
Yeah.
What?
This has been like a big summer craze. So there's a lot of like
Yeah.
hype that's been around this movie.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it and where those therapy themes show up. And then we are also going to talk about mushroom mommies. This was something,
What are these?
Yeah, this was something that sort of like rose to prominence probably about 2 years ago in the media. And I think it's still here.
Mushroom mommies.
It's coming back. So we're going to talk about
let's talk
who they are and what that kind of means for the culture.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's take a quick little break and we'll be right back.
Yeah, let's hear from our sponsors.
Yeah.
Swoosh. Wow, I love that sponsor.
Swoosh.
The swoosh.
Yeah. That swoosh like really got me. I have like whiplash. From
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
It's like,
If you're not swishing, you're swooshing.
exactly. I've always said that.
You've always said that.
I've always said that.
That's so brave of you.
So the first therapy theme, we got those good K-pop demon hunters.
Let's talk about K-pop demon hunters.
You tell me.
Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it.
Let's
So-
give a synopsis and then we'll get into it.
Yeah, so if you haven't watched K-pop demon hunters, I would recommend it. It's fun. You don't have to be a child to watch it.
Chuckle.
I'm going to read a little synopsis about it.
Yeah.
Because I think that can sort of wrap up for those who haven't seen it yet. But this whole first segment is going to be spoilers, McGee. So pause this, and then go watch K-pop demon hunters. So the synopsis.
Do you think people are actually going to pause it and then go
No.
watch it? No. Okay.
No, but I don't know. One can hope. So Rumi, Zoe, and Mira make up Huntrix, a world-famous K-pop trio adored by millions. Offstage, they're also demon hunters, using their music to maintain a barrier and keep the evil forces from stealing human souls. But just as they near the final victory, a demon named Jinyu creates a rival demon boy band. Yes, the Saja Boys, to steal the Huntrix fans and sabotage their power.
Yeah.
If Jinyu succeeds, the barrier will fall and the demons will feed on humanity forever. And then at the center of all of this conflict is Rumi, our hero, the group's lead singer who harbors a secret. She bears patterns on her skin that mark that she is half demon herself. So, okay, wait. The reason why we're bringing this to the pod is because, like most good media, there's definitely a therapy theme in here.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a little undertone.
Let's talk about shame.
Maybe an overtone. I
and a
personally
midtone.
felt the overtone.
Okay, wait, before we get into it, which character did you feel like you are?
Oh my God, Rumi.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, I fully was like, there are both good parts and bad parts, and we make room for all parts.
Yeah.
You know, that's
So let's talk about that, because I think that would be the
Yeah.
really fun thing. Let's talk about shame, and
Yeah.
let's talk about something called the shadow parts.
yeah.
What are shadow parts?
So shadow parts, we have our self, right? So let's call that like capital S self. That's the person that we aim to be.
Yeah.
That person typically is calm, connected, compassionate, curious. We've talked about this before, but it's
Yeah.
all those C's, right?
Yeah,
all
yeah.
those ways that we wish to
Constipated.
be. Yeah. Yeah.
Cranky.
Yeah, cranky, moody. And we want to be those things, but those are sort of like propelled and operating under false pretenses sometimes, meaning that we perform this false self. And so the false self comes forward and takes the spot of the self. And so that false self could be also linked to different parts of us that emerge and come forward when we need, maybe when we're under stress or when we need to perform or maybe when we're meeting new people. That false self comes forward in different times. And those shadow parts, as you were talking about, make up that false self. So sometimes those shadow parts linger behind the surface of the self or even the false self that emerges. So an example of that would be, maybe I'm in conversation with my friend and I'm talking about hosting a party.
Yeah.
And maybe I kind of don't really want them there. And so
The friend. So why are you telling the friend about this party?
Well, exactly.
That's so toxic, Jake.
This is what I mean.
You've changed ever since you've written that book.
We're talking about shadow
You've
parts,
changed.
hon.
Shadow Jake is messy.
This is an example. Yeah. This isn't real life. This is an example.
Okay, sure.
So let's pretend
There's a grain of truth in everything, but
maybe I'm hosting a party, talking to a friend who I don't necessarily want to invite, but I am going to invite them, right? So the shadow part is like probably a lot of the anger, resentment, fear, mistrust for the friendship that lingers behind the surface. But then that false self comes forward to say, oh yeah, the party's at this time. And this is what you can bring kind of
like
thing.
hope to see you there.
Hope to see you there.
When that's not true.
Can't wait to see you.
Yeah.
And so there's a false self, right, that kind of emerges back there. And so I think back to K-pop Deem in Hunters, Rumi has a lot of parts, right, that emerge and create some shame for her.
Yeah.
Or we could even just call that just general stress and tension.
Yeah.
As she's navigating her circumstances. And so I think shame seems to be a big narrative in the movie, obviously, but with her and her story.
Yeah.
And so she's straddling that tension between, having these more demonic parts, these sort of like what we could call bad parts.
Yeah.
Even though there are no bad parts.
Yeah.
But she sees them and she assesses them as being bad.
Well, her whole world is set up to be like there are good parts and then there are bad parts.
Yes.
Right? Like the demons are bad.
Yeah.
If you have patterns, you're a demon, that's bad.
Yeah.
Right?
And
so she's part of the system, a long-standing system that says, okay, the good stuff, we need to like conceal, don't feel. Let it go. We got to maintain the whole moon.
Now they know.
And then that way we can keep the bad parts away.
Yeah. And at the beautiful conclusion of the story, we see integration of self. We see that she allows them to coexist.
All the jagged pieces.
Yeah, without judgment or maybe without as much shame as maybe was there before.
I got to ask you a question though, before we get to the end of that film.
Yeah.
So the shadow parts, when we talk about shadow parts, they're not bad parts of ourselves. Like, even though they have like less than ideal thoughts and feelings attached to it, right? Like with, that metaphor of you hosting the party and then having the friend that you don't really want to invite, but you invite them anyways, that like the anger and the resentment and all of that, like they're less than ideal thoughts and feelings, right?
I don't know. They're just thoughts and feelings.
They're just thoughts and feelings.
And so the problem is that we tend to appraise them or sort them into good and bad. And so that's a moral judgment on something that just is, right? We don't choose our thoughts. We don't choose our feelings. They just happen. And so it's information that happens based on the situation that we're in and based on the life history that we have.
Right.
And so it's hard to say that, that I guess there is like an element of we could call it like productive thinking to assess them and understand them in good and bad categories.
Yeah.
But when we see anything in black and white terms, that usually is a recipe for unwellness.
I guess you can also see that in the movie too, right? With the characters of Rumi and Jinyu, right? Like, so he's more demon because he comes from the demon world. He's part of the Saja boys. But we kind of see like there's that whole song Free where they're both kind of coming together and they're talking about like, what would it be like if we could just face our parts so that we can like move on and like be free. But you can see like he kind of comes from like the demon world. So the shadow world. Yeah. But she comes from like the hero world, but she's also has parts of shame attached to like her whole thing going on. But they both kind of are not bad people.
Right.
But it's like Jinyu's circumstances of like, I think his backstory is that he was like old in world and he was like starving on the street and he had to make a tough decision in order to like survive.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how he kind of like lost his soul. Right. But then you look at Rumi, like what were her life circumstances that led her to where she is, right? She comes from like a legacy of where her mom was a demon hunter.
Yeah.
And then something happened, which I bet we will see it in the sequel. As to like what happened there.
Because you know it's coming.
We know it's coming.
You know there's a sequel.
Because it's like, who is the father?
Yeah.
Right? Because she's half demon.
Yeah.
But you can see that even with Celine, who is kind of like her mom's best friend, who kind of becomes her like mentor in a way.
Yeah.
Voiced by oh my God, Leah something. Leah Michelle. Who famously can't read.
Yeah.
No, I bet she can read, but I don't know. But Mulan, the singing voice of Mulan. Couldn't tell you. Anyways.
I literally couldn't tell you.
My point is that she kind of teaches her to be like, conceal, don't feel. Like,
yeah.
No, you are good. Those shadow parts of yourself, those like shame parts, those demon patterns that you have, hide them, because you're a good person. Can you kind of talk about that? Like, I think I think about like a parent and a kid, for example. Like, we're always like, I want you to be a good person, right? How does like negating shadow parts sort of create this like false version of ourself that is on the surface might be heroic and good, but in reality, it's like you're not getting the full picture.
Yeah, I think in recent years, like I've really sort of wrestled with that, like what makes someone good or good enough. And I think that bigger question, like, well, who gets to decide that anyway?
Yeah.
And I think because it's a moral judgment about our character or who we are as people, I think we could objectively say, yeah, there are bad people with bad intentions. But I think the main part of understanding our parts in the shadow work is seeing that they have protective intentions, regardless of how we judge them as good or bad. And so these parts of us tend to emerge in situations where things are on shaky ground, maybe where we're experiencing stress or it's new or uncomfortable. And there's a protective intention there that these parts emerge to support us with. And so the job that they think that they're doing is, let's call it good intentioned. There are good intentions behind these uncomfortable experiences that we have. So things like shame, guilt, anger, and resentment also go in there. Anxiety and fear. There are protective intentions behind why those thoughts and feelings emerge. And so I just don't know that it's productive or even science-based to even assign a moral judgment to things that we largely don't have a lot of control over. And then secondary, like they're working in our favor. Our system is trying to help us maintain an equilibrium or a balance.
So shadow parts are not something to be ashamed of, which you kind of learn in the film.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
in real world,
our tendency is to push them away, right? We tend to feel the discomfort, or we have that thought that maybe keeps repeating, or that memory that keeps on coming back, and we try to push it away. And so the practice here would be to be open enough to receiving the information that it has to offer for you. That can be uncomfortable and distressing. And it also has really positive health benefits to welcoming and befriending and sitting with the discomfort, not just pushing it away.
What are some examples of things that you could learn from that, like the discomfort in your shadow parts?
Well, I think that learning about their protective intention, I think, allows us to, in a way, unemploy them. They kind of sign themselves up for these jobs that they think that they have to do to keep us safe or to protect us. But when we are our capital S self, right? So when we are like an emotionally mature adult, we have more productive strategies to keep ourselves safe or to navigate scenarios and to, again, be more emotionally in touch with our experience. So number one, I think if anyone's kind of thinking, okay, that's nice, Jake, but what do I do about that? Number one, I think naming our emotions is helpful. There's a term or a concept called name it to tame it. So once you name an emotion, it allows us to relax a little bit. And the emotions...
But not control it.
Right. Well, emotions feel seen, right? When we name it to tame it. And so even just saying this is anxiety, this is shame, I'm feeling angry.
This is what it sounds like.
Yeah. This isn't therapy.
This isn't therapy.
And when we name our emotions, we can get a better grasp on granularity of them. And sometimes when people are more emotionally immature, they only have 3 words to describe emotions, right? It's like happy, sad, and pissed off. And I think that can really keep us locked into more cycles of emotional avoidance, or feeling like that shadow is really controlling us in certain ways.
So is the goal then to have a relationship with your shadow parts, not just kind of
Yeah.
push it away, even though it might have less than satisfactory or like uncomfortable feelings and thoughts attached to it? The work is not to be like, oh no, that's bad. Don't think about that. Don't cast judgment, but to help like lead with a bit of curiosity, so that then you could say like, thank you for that information, but I'm good. Or thank you for that information. You can go over there now.
Yeah.
You can take a seat now. Like, we're good.
In the most human way, all of these are signs that something is off in our environment or on in our insides. And every time we deny it or minimize it or avoid it or push it away, we miss the meeting, right? We miss that opportunity to see what it's trying to tell us. And so an example, let's say I'm giving a presentation and my heart is beating really fast. If my only thoughts are, well, I shouldn't be feeling this way and I need to get rid of this beating heart, I'm missing that opportunity to figure out like, what is my body trying to tell me? What is my brain trying to tell me, with maybe the thoughts that also flood in around, are people going to receive it well? Am I going to sound smart? Am I going to get another gig after this? And so I think when, again, we miss the opportunity from all the signs from inside, right? That's either somatically from our bodies, or that's emotionally from how we're feeling, or even just the thoughts and the narratives, the stories that come in. Every time we give in to those shadow parts, we may miss the opportunity to reflect on what it's actually trying to tell us.
Okay, so what do you mean giving in to it? Like allowing it to take over or dismissing it?
I mean,
or either or?
Well, we have a lot of psychological defenses, right? That's what they're called. That things like minimization. There's another one called splitting, where we take that true self and that false self and we just split it in half. So all the bad parts are just completely cast out of our narrative and out of our, maybe even our personality structure.
Yeah.
And so we perform as this only good thing.
Yeah.
And so splitting happens a lot, actually. We're seeing a lot in the culture right now.
Well, we see it in the movie.
Yep.
Because that's what she kind of comes to a reckoning with at the end.
Yep.
Right? Was like,
I can't keep splitting.
I can't be one, this whole, this vision of just like the perfect demon hunter, the golden demon hunter.
Exactly.
I can't do it.
And there is obviously perfectionism that's wrapped up in those narratives, right? Around the maintenance of keeping that engine going. It's hard. It's overwhelming. It's a heavy tax on our system.
Yeah.
And so the goal here is integration, to be able to allow both of those to coexist, so that we aren't controlled by them per se.
Okay.
I've enjoyed this conversation. This is like like
I would hope so.
I mean, like, well, like
we still have another one.
no, I mean, like, it just felt like this is a good like splash back into talking about therapy themes like on a weekly basis with you. Like, I've missed it. It's been
I missed it too.
And again, I think I've just been so zoomed in on other projects and other things that I have going on that I miss just being able to kind of talk about how it connects to like daily life. It's fun.
To K-pop demon hunters.
And our next segment, we
Which
have
I
a
can't
lot.
wait.
We have a lot in store there. So
Why don't we go ahead
Yeah.
and switch over from K-pop demon hunters to our next topic, mushroom mommies. What is that?
BRB.
Stay tuned.
BRB. Okay, so we are back.
Oh my God, another sponsor from Swoosh.
Yeah,
Like Swoosh, thank you so much for sponsoring us.
listen, that whiplash like is like Sasha Colby, like
Yeah.
Anyway, I just messed up my mic and my hair, but we're back.
That's okay.
And so mushroom mommies.
Yeah. Okay,
let
wait.
me just back up. Let's zoom out and then we'll zoom back in. Okay. So the zoom out of this conversation, mushroom mommies. We are not talking about the food mushrooms. We're talking about the drugs. We're talking about
The psychedelic.
Yes, exactly, of the psychedelic variety. And so essentially, back in 2023 was the first time I heard about it, and this was the first news documentation of it, that moms were microdosing mushrooms and they were also getting together in their mommy groups and
Having a fight club.
doing it together.
Oh.
So it wasn't just by themselves. They sort of created some community around this where moms are microdosing very small amounts. And these are, by the way, healthy moms. They're, for the most part, healthy. A lot of the data is showing that though they want to spice up their life a little bit. And so I think if we like pop open the hood a little bit on this, I have a few questions and maybe we can kind of sort through them.
Oh, good thing I'm here, the representative of
Yeah.
the Mushroom Mommies,
The mushroom mom.
to answer all the questions.
Exactly. So number one,
Yeah.
who are you?
Yeah.
Where do you get off?
Yeah. How dare
And
you?
3, why?
Yeah.
How could you?
Yeah.
Okay, so my first question is like, what moms? I'm kind of like, okay, well, what type of mom is either attracted to this type of group?
Yeah.
Or what type of mom might also benefit from this type of intervention? So like, as a precursor, let's just say as well, this is illegal. That
Right.
this is not a legal practice that these moms are doing. But so there's a bit of like an underground sort of network to it.
Yeah.
And I do think that there is probably a through line that would justify like what brings these women together. I think about probably some of the socioeconomic circumstances that they're in. I would imagine it's a wealthier income bracket of moms. And I would also imagine that it's a lot of moms who probably have a lot on the go and a lot on their plate. And so probably who need just a little bit of like a lightening up from maybe the stressors or the busynesses that they tend to. So,
Okay. Zoom out for a second.
Yeah, listen.
Tell me the therapy theme here, because Mushroom Mommies, listen, I don't want to yuck anybody's yum, As long as you're safe,
Sure.
you're doing your thing, not here to cast judgment or aspersions, but I'm curious as to what are you noticing? Like, are you seeing like some sort of therapeutic positive that's coming out of these microdosing mushroom mommy groups?
Okay, number one.
Or
we
no.
we have to start here. There is absolutely no data that shows that these mommy groups are this isn't a therapeutic intervention. This isn't supervised by anybody. This isn't
this
like
is like
a clinical
an underground.
Yeah, I think it's moms who are sort of like, let me like grind up some mushrooms and put them in my tea in the morning. And then they're sort of like, let me take the dullness of life and like I can notch it up a bit. Again, I don't imagine they're reaching that like therapeutic level of psychedelic use, where they're revisiting their childhoods on this stuff and like having these like great hallucinations that are transformative and healing.
Yeah.
I think they're probably wanting to access the euphoria elements that come from small amounts of psilocybin and mushrooms. And again, these are really small doses. So I do, the way that I have assessed it, maybe more clinically, is that this is like I'm just taking it as a substitute for probably other supplements or other, let's say, pharmaceuticals. So like SSRIs or like psychiatric medication. And so I think that they have found, similar to probably the way that like a weed gummy would change your neurochemistry and then therefore affect your physiology. I would imagine this is probably in the realm of stress relief and coping. That is the benefit, similar to maybe even smoking, right? Or drinking alcohol at the end of the night.
Right.
And so, like you, I'm of course we're not here to judge or to cast doubt. I think that it's an interesting scenario, right? Like it does kind of remind me a little bit of like maybe the mommy wine groups.
Yeah.
Where like let's all get together and drink wine and kind of like share in community and gossip and like have fun together.
Yeah.
So I think there is a social element to it. But I think what at least the articles that I've read where journalists are documenting what's going on in these smaller communities, they're seeing that there is that communal aspect of it, that this is sort of a way they can get together. And I don't necessarily think that a lot of them would even self-assess as this is a bad thing. I think they see it as sort of like, this is okay. Right. Obviously, we should state that there are risks to doing so, right? So there are, of course, the childcare elements of that, right? So when you're on drugs and you're you're having to perform a parent duty, like caring for a child, obviously that can affect your ability to do so. But one quote that I found fascinating from the articles that I was reading, one of the moms who was interviewed was talking about how it allows her to access her childlike self. And I think with like the amount of stress and overwhelm that a lot of parents are feeling these days, they feel like that childlike and aspect of themselves like isn't as accessible. And so one of the moms was talking about how it allows her to access the part of her that like can play with her kids and like roll around in the grass. So it seems
So
to
there
have
seems to
opened-
be like a benefit in a way, right? Like when you're sort of talking about the risks of this, to have the ability, I don't know if it
Yeah.
relaxes you to the point where you could show up for your kid in a way. Like I can see how that could be the both and of this all, right? The risk and the reward.
maybe the
I'm
other
just curious. I'm like coming at this as we often do,
Right.
as like just with a curiosity as to like what does this mean about the larger culture of like where we are, you know,
yeah.
right? If specifically mommies are feeling so overwhelmed with like all of the pressures and everything that has to go into like being a parent, that we require
I think that's a good
mushrooms.
I
Like,
think that's a
I
good
wonder-
segue into like my next question, because I also have a question. Where are the dads? Why aren't men or dads doing the same thing?
like daddy mushroom group.
Yeah, I just wonder if there is a gender component to it that maybe
No,
never.
no,
Why
there
would there?
never is.
No.
No,
I don't think so. I don't see gender.
no. I don't either. Listen, when Leroy goes downstairs and meets with his buds and they do like their whole hockey game thing, that's not the same thing.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
No,
This
no,
is
no,
so
no,
different.
no. Yeah,
And-
yeah. When they go to their rec sports league, that's not the same thing.
Sarcasm. I just think it's important to like talk about that layer, because I do think that there must be some element, and what it kind of reminds me of. I obviously wasn't there in the 1950s, but I have.
Are you sure?
I have heard stories
Prove it.
of what was going on for the housewives of the 1950s, right? Like who were doing like tons of psychiatric medication, like barbiturates and like really intense drugs, just to survive the experience of being
Laudlum?
sick. What?
What is it called? Laudlum?
Never heard that term. in my life.
LADU. It's like
I've never heard that.
it's a como se dice?
I don't know her.
Okay.
Laudlum?
Laudlum?
I don't know.
Isn't it like it's kind of like a ketamine. Like it just makes you like, woo.
Oh, so that's you're naming a drug.
I think. I don't know.
that the women were doing.
I guess this is a drug podcast now.
Right.
Right.
Right. Either way, I just have those same questions of like, is this a modern version of that experience of like having to survive
Yeah.
being a housewife where rights were pretty limited, and maybe like the norms of the culture at the time, like just were not enabling women to like access those, again, like we were talking about earlier, those parts of themselves that they need to be healthy, happy humans.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if we're seeing a bit more of that, or it's also that like maybe like drugs have like are pushed towards legalization in some cases, has also normalized drug use in a way that doesn't cause a stir in some communities. So I do wonder like what type of women, what type of families are would say yes to that, or would sort of be more open to doing that. And so the reason why I think it's a big therapy theme is because it recognizes the shift in our culture. And I'm always interested in those like inflection points, like those turning points in culture where we kind of go, whoa, there was a before and after for when we did that. And it's no shocker here that social media and technology has been like a big inflection point for me that I've focused on for a while. But I just wonder like to what extent does different ways of coping and like being a parent and being a part of a family also just like go in with all those things. We all have different ways of coping, and those can be adaptive and healthy, or they can be maladaptive and unhealthy.
So let's talk about those then.
Well, I'm doing the sorting thing. I don't know. I at this time, I don't think we have enough data. We don't have enough information to make really causal or like firm conclusions around like, is this a health practice or is this a harmful practice?
Then we should just delete this whole podcast, because if there's anything that you and I are set out to do, which was to be right,
I mean, I'll just put the therapy hat back on.
Okay.
I
was like, what's the metaphor?
Let's put my hair.
I'll just put my hair back in.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah, it's a wig.
I knew that was too good to be true.
If I put the therapy hat on and really try to understand it with a kind intention and a compassionate lens, I also go back to that place that you did at the beginning, which is that there must be a good reason why this is the default or why this is being chosen as whether it's coping or not, or whether it's whatever it is, there must be a function to it, a reason that this is happening. I don't think that this is just thrill seeking. I think it's more complex and probably more deep than that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that this is like nefarious. I don't think it's like neglectful parents out doing drugs.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, what a lot of these articles are also kind of talking about, which is like,
you're a bad parent.
yeah, but I think what the article did a really good job of highlighting is that it's almost like a fad, like a trend. And so that is the concern that I have, that I think that we can talk about in future episodes, about how trends and fads can also cause us to lose our judgment and lose ourselves. And so I do wonder and worry about some of the parents who like just kind of say yes to say yes.
Yeah.
Because this is what other moms are doing, or like all their friends are doing it too.
Yeah.
And so I think that probably one of like the themes that strikes me is this sort of notion that it's also being used as self-care. And I just don't know my thoughts on it yet. Maybe I kind of need to see it play out a bit before I make a more like accurate judgment here. But I just wonder how we would react if someone was like, oh yeah, alcohol, it's my self-care.
Right.
Oh yeah, those cannabis gummies, that's my self-care. I kind of go, I understand that you think that it's soothing and helpful and gives you relief, but I'm just not sure of the medicinal qualities of it yet, maybe. And if we could actually really call it true self-care. I think it's a form of coping that no doubt offers you some positive benefit.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if I'm comfortable sorting that into the box of self-care.
Is that sort of like a conversation even too about like self-care has just become a nebulous thing now?
Well, it's anything I do that makes me feel good
is self-care, but then we realize that things that make us feel good aren't necessarily good for us all the time.
Yeah.
So would you sort of say like, let's just be a little bit more wary about things that are sort of marketed to you as like, this is self-care? Like,
yeah, it's interesting, right? I mean, but let's also like play the opposite for a second.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, is me sitting with like gummy worms and a bag of chips on my couch watching K-pop Demon Hunters self-care? I don't know.
that could be.
But here's the question. Like, you're right. Like the definition has become so broad that we've suffered from something called concept creep, where the original definition of something, a concept, like it creeps into something much bigger. We've seen that concept creep happen with words like trauma, where we say anything uncomfortable is traumatic.
Yeah.
And that's not an accurate use of the word.
Yeah.
But
gaslighting.
Yeah.
Anyone who has a contradictory opinion to me,
Yep.
that you're gaslighting me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where things like self-care, which I think has a strict definition also, and has originated from a strict definition, seems to have like, again, suffered from that same idea of, well, I can define it how I want to. But maybe that also is how we use language in general. Maybe that's what words are.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can just decide how we use them.
Yeah, it's not about the accuracy of the original word, but maybe it's what it means collectively here and now.
Oof.
I don't know the answer. Do you know the answer?
It's a cool conversation because I think
Well, good thing we're having it.
and we are. And we will continue
we'll
to.
continue to have it.
I just think I have an interest in like protecting kind of elements of the field that are like non-negotiable and like rooted in science and truth and reality.
Okay.
We don't get to call mushroom self-care if it's not actually adding a healthy benefit to your life.
I see.
But who knows? Maybe the research and maybe certain like versions of psilocybin will also unlock like new pathways, right? But we're at the really early stages of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like research and practice and clinical intervention around using psilocybin mushroom to treat mental health issues. Like I very well could eat my words in 5 years. I don't know. But what I'm just saying is that when it's unregulated and when it's in like a group of any structure, I think we need to be a bit more cautious about how we just widely accept it just because it's trendy or a fad.
Right. Interesting. Before we go to our last segment, any final thoughts on Mushroom Mommies or K-pop Demon Hunters and the theme of shadow selves and shame?
Yeah, I just think it's so human. There of course are parts of us that we try to cast away and push away, and there are ways that we try to bring relief into our lives, whether that's by
Singing
or doing
mushrooms.
recreational drugs.
Yeah.
I want to try to humanize and understand before I try to automatically sort it into a box of good or bad. And I do think that really is the theme of this episode.
Interesting.
Love it.
Love that.
Look at us try to bridge the gap between two unrelated therapy themes
Ooh, and look, there was a through line.
and trying to find a through line.
Well, we didn't have to try very hard because it was
Right in front of our face.
Why don't we segue Sally into the
Yeah.
final segment?
Yes.
And then we'll mosey on over
Let's do
to ending this.
Okay, be right back.
Okay, swoosh. I love our sponsor.
Here we come. Maybe just before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you to all who have returned and have continuing to listen to us even in our absence.
Yeah.
So I am excited to be back.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to be on video, navigate over to YouTube, to watch the video in full, like maybe on your TV.
Yeah.
Or maybe on your Tesla screen in your car.
Like while driving?
Yeah.
Okay, but
Don't do
we
that.
didn't tell you to do
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
We didn't say that. We didn't say
But also,
that.
why are you driving a Tesla? Let's be real.
Well, okay, well, I guess we're not getting Tesla sponsorship now.
Oh my gosh.
I really wanted a Cybertruck.
Well, now you're swearing and we can't swear on YouTube. So yeah,
Sugar.
we're going to bleep that one out.
Holy, oh my God, this is going to be such a hard transition.
Well, we're losing monetization already. We haven't
my
even
God.
got there.
The first episode,
Come on.
we got so far and then whatever. Okay, let's move on to our tried and true final segment. So if you've been here for a while, you know that we've done this before in the past.
Yes.
But if you're arriving at the This Isn't Therapy commune for the first time, bienvenue, welcome. So we are going to end this lovely podcast with a segment that we call Asking for a Friend. Asking for a Friend is this, we have this ongoing link that anyone, anywhere in the world can submit a quandary, a query, a question, something that's on their mind anonymously.
Yeah.
And it's just meant to be a casual conversation between friends. So you're kind of asking us, what would you do in this situation as friends? And not the experts that you are. Because if we're anything, we are
Siblings.
experts.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
Yeah, okay.
So without further ado,
Without further ado,
here we are with
asking for a friend.
Cue the theme music. Wow.
Tell me.
That theme music. Okay, this asking for a friend is very juicy. We also accidentally, during our little hiatus, we didn't close the
box.
We didn't close the box.
We didn't close the box. Which
So we came back and we were like, clomp, clomp, clomp. Those are our shoes.
trot, trot, trot.
Opening up the
box.
box and being like,
Holy, there
there are a lot of questions.
we got
here.
some questions. Can I also just say,
Yeah.
this is such a niche thing, and it's only talking to one lovely listener. But I need to talk to you. Okay.
Directly right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. Okay, go for
Sorry.
it. I wasn't doing anything
Sorry.
important.
Okay, lovely
Yeah.
listener, you submitted us a DM. You know who you are, and you deleted it.
Yeah.
You put an amazing story that
Yeah.
we did not reply to, so that's on us.
Yeah.
We did not reply to it.
Yeah.
And we were going to use it.
Yeah.
We were going to select it, and
Yeah.
then you deleted it because now we can't find it.
Now we can't find it. So if you know who you are, thank you so much for your vulnerability.
Bring it back.
Please bring it back.
Type it back
Type
verbatim.
it back into it.
Yeah.
We would love to talk about it.
We wanted to talk about it because it was such a good theme.
Yeah.
Simon and I immediately sent it to each other.
And we're like, let's do it.
We were
and I
like,
think
we have
you
to
were
do
away
it.
and I was away. We're like, we'll tackle this when we're back.
So we didn't
And then
reply
we
to
came
you.
back and
Yeah.
it was gone by the time we got there.
It was gone.
Yeah. But anyways,
Since
while we
you
wait for that one, here is what a lovely listener submitted in our Asking for a Friend box.
Yes.
Asking for a friend. How do you know when you've actually outgrown someone versus when you're just avoiding conflict? I'm struggling to want to remain friends with someone, but also don't know if it's because we're in an era of our friendship. Ooh.
Is this about us?
Did you submit this? Did you?
Oh my God. So you're probably wondering why I brought you here.
Oh,
is this
just a con?
Yeah,
Like
I had a really important thing to talk to you about, and so I thought the only
up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, as a friend, how do you know when you've outgrown someone
Well,
versus you're just in like a moment?
yeah. I mean, I think you have to figure out like how do you define a conflict, or how do you define like, okay, we're different people now. I know, just to add a bit of a layer of therapy theme on top.
You're allowed to hold the therapy hat just above your head,
just like a halo,
but you can't put it on because you're supposed to be just a friend right now.
crown it.
So it's just
And so crown it. And so I would say that sometimes as we grow in our work and in our healing, we experience the side effect of doing so, which is that people get angry with us. They don't want us to be different. They want us to return back to the old way of doing things. And so like as we are growing and changing and healing, let's say, that can signal that period of growth where we're growing at a rate that someone else isn't changing alongside the same way that we are.
Ooh.
And so the outgrowing tends to happen when it can also just happen from other life experiences, right? Like if you're traveling a lot and you come back to your life, like there are different ways of outgrowing, right? Or changing.
Yeah.
But
you suddenly have like this really cool accent.
yeah.
And I'm like, Jake, you were only in Barcelona for a week. Like, stop doing that. Oh my God. But I didn't submit this.
Exactly. No, this isn't about us.
No, it's not.
This isn't about us until it is. And I don't know. I don't necessarily have any solid guidance on it other than that, like, we naturally outgrow people all the time.
Yeah.
And maybe this isn't like your forever person or your forever friend.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Since you asked, I think my indicator would be, as your friend, I would be like, are you having fun with this person? Like, are you having a good time? Like, do you like being around this person? And like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes that's pretty telling. Because then I think you know at your core, right? At that point, if this person is worth sticking around for.
Yeah.
Or if you're just kind of like, no, I feel like they're just stressed. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a good indicator. I don't know. Friendship should be fun, right? What?
Like a full body yes.
Like it should full body, like you should feel it in your body.
It should be like a full body yes.
So I feel like you would know that if you've outgrown someone, then I think you would kind of be like, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been fun for a while.
Yeah.
I don't look forward to seeing this person. When they text me, it makes me actually feel really like, oh no, I have to respond.
Yeah.
Like it causes more stress than whatever. And then around the question of like, are you avoiding conflict? Like, I don't know. Probably.
Totally. I mean, there's the other thing too, though, which I think where many things are true. Like friendship is also stressful. Like it's not just easy. It's not just always fun. There are moments where you navigate like disagreements or different ways of doing things or like, so I think that there is sometimes like an unspoken sort of layer in the friendship that like makes it complicated to navigate for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think that necessarily is a sign that the breakup is inevitable. So I think it's a little bit of A, a little bit of B. And I think for each person, you have to kind of figure out like, I am like you, that I'm like, if I'm not having fun, that's sort of like a base level of expectation for a friendship.
Yeah.
If I'm not having fun, if it's not like a full body yes when I'm hanging out, then for me, that's where I'm like, okay, I'm going to pull back for a little bit and see what happens.
It doesn't have to be that all the time, but
Yeah.
you know. Okay, well, we sure solved that.
Wow, we really did.
Wow. Oh no, but truly, like, lovely listener, thank you for submitting.
Such a good question.
Good questions. A lot of questions about friendships.
Can I
think
say
we
it
have to
right
do
now?
an episode about it.
I was just going to say the same thing. I was going to say, I think we have to do an episode about this. It's one of those things that like just gets so much like airtime in our inbox, but it's also just another thing that I think is so common. It happens all the time in therapy. Like people are sorting
like
through
friendship breakups,
the strength of friendships. Like, do they really like me? Do they want me around? Do they like me?
Let's do an episode about that.
Yeah. Let's commit to that.
Let's do that.
Okay,
live on air.
Listen, we are at the end of our time together. If you like what you heard, please like, comment, and subscribe. Wow. Please go to our YouTube, at least hit subscribe. If you're not going to watch it on YouTube, at least subscribe to the bells.
Yeah, and wherever you get your podcast, like rating us always helps.
Yeah.
We love a DM. We are literally everywhere now. We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
We're on,
You can't
on
say
the
that-
social medias.
You can't say that you can't find us.
So decide, pick your poison.
Yeah.
Do you want 15-second quippy bites? You go to that TikTok.
Yeah.
You want something a little bit longer? You go to that Instagram. You
Yep.
want something long?
Even longer?
You go to YouTube.
You go to that YouTube, honey.
You're sick and tired of looking at us because we're so fugly? Just listen to us wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah. So we'll see you next week.
So we'll see you there.
We'll see you next week. I've been wanting to say that for a long time. So, okay, bye.
Bye.
This isn't therapy.
We don't have to do that.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Rest in peace.